Oh, howdy all, grab yourselves a beer, it is time for some Path of Exile, and in this video, I narrate my Toucan. My character in the Toucan race is going to do the Cruel Ascendancy. So I've basically done most of Act 9 in the last video, and now it's time to go back to Act 8, and, well actually no, it's just the Aspirant's Plaza, isn't it? I keep forgetting that that's a thing now. Been a thing for a long time too, I probably shouldn't forget that. But in any case, it's off to the Cruel Labyrinth. I'm only one away from Merciless Flagging as well. I've opened up a guide to this labyrinth, and so first room is just a top right and exit straight to Izaro. Do need to summon a golem, and golem I accidentally animation cancelled, which is really getting on my nerves at the moment. I'm tempted to stick I don't want to do that. Oh, 20% quality. That has some real potential to be good. And it wasn't. Reason that can be good is if you get a gem in there, which gems are pretty rare in regular treasure, but if you get one, ooh, that's got some potential. This is a silly labyrinth trove thing. That's one of those unique rings that, I can't remember which one that is. I think it's pretty bad unless you get the faded version. The faded version was OP as all hell during Prophecy League and then got nerfed back to a reasonable level. But reasonable, unfortunately, doesn't mean it gets used. It is a perfect description of a fair unique, and a fair unique isn't good enough to be better than the busted options that do exist. Hopefully this is the Aspirant's Trial. Yep, there it is. Okay, about to find out how difficult Izaro is here. I'm a bit low on fire resist. That will certainly be a useful thing to have. That is one of the most useful crafting recipes you pick up. So it's portals. Portals I'm going to take seriously, and I'm going to destroy them. Ordinarily I wouldn't, but we have multiple projectiles, and multiple projectiles make the portals terrifying, especially in the final fight. So I definitely do not want to have multiple projectile firing monsters spamming me everywhere. Oh, I derped and I only did 2 of them. Alright, well it's good to know I'm killing Izaro faster than I thought. Okay, top left. This has a Dark Shrine in it. If I find the Dark Shrine, great, but outdoor zones are a pain in the ass to navigate, so I never really search for the Dark Shrines. If I find one, I find it. Let's see what that strongbox was. Jewelers. That's... shouldn't have hit that. Anyways, I'll kill it now that it's open. In fact, now that I think about it, I'm in a level 55 zone. There's not really much incentive to do any killing that's not required. Any drops are going to suck. And the last thing I want is to die in here. I'm sure lots of you will be quite happy to laugh at me if I do, but you've had plenty of opportunities to laugh at me after Innocence. I don't owe you any more of them. Okay, this is one of those puzzles. I can't remember whether everything's got to be lit or everything's got to be unlit. Let's just try and work it out. What do we got here? So that's the only unlit. No, that's one. Okay, how are we going to do this? We're just going to walk it around. So that requires me to hit that. Then requires me to hit that. And then does that light every... stuff it. I'm not going to bother. This is... come to think of it, this is a purely irrelevant thing. That's just me being sidetracked. I'm good at getting sidetracked. Okay, that's not actually the way I want to go out of here. It's not the end of the world if I do go that way, but it's not quite as fast as the other way. Be very conscious with these statues around. Do I get a bleed inflicted on me? If I get hit and I start to bleed, that's going to hurt. This is the Dark Shrine. Figure out how to actually get in there. There it is. There's always one of them around. I will get the Dark Shrine because it's on my way. And there it is. It's in the middle of a trap gauntlet. Impenetrable Shrine. That's, I believe that just means I've got massive armor and evasion. Evasion will be good. I'll take the evasion. Okay, here we are. Here's the exit. This is not the end. And then there is another Dark Shrine and the top right. Often I just check here because it's often very close to the start. Dark Shrines in zones like this, if it's not very close to the start, I'm not going to keep searching. Added chaos, always nice to see leveling up. Gem is very sensitive to... I was going to say that support is very sensitive to skill level. So you get a lot of power out of leveling it. This is the Dark Shrine. You can see that from the minimap. To the worthy goes the spoils. What did that do? Oh, Izaro drops +1 unique. Unique is good because it won't drop scoured. Probably going to be trash, but it's something at least. Alright, Aspirant's Trial. This is the fonts. When the time comes to strike, so that's the curses from memory. I'll recognise it when I actually see it though. So one portal is up. That's going to mean that I've got to deal with stupid minions that... Oh yeah, it's this one. Okay. Going to destroy all of these. Alright, so that's all of these things down. So I've still got one of those. Portals will still be active. Now in this one I want to go top right, then top middle. And I'm checking that on poelab.com. What I do is I take a screenshot because that site tends to have a bunch of fairly processor intensive ad stuff on it. So rather than leave the site open, I just take a screenshot of their site and leave that open in a window. I don't mind ads that aren't intrusive, and especially ones that react to ad block. That's fine by me, but ones that are in your face, ugh. Now, what do we got here? That's an exit. Is it the correct exit? That's a really weird dead end. Most of the Labyrinth dead ends have some reason for existing, even though they haven't been human designed, these zones. They've been procedurally designed. There's usually some rhyme or reason to how they're built. One's an unusual exception. So this will be an outdoor zone, one of the horrible ones. Top middle. maybe that. It probably isn't. It's usually further from the entrance. Even on Cruel, the labyrinth, each zone in the labyrinth gets bigger. So it's not the correct one. So that's the one that goes down. Okay, so I need to go counterclockwise from there. Alright, I'm not going to bother with that silly gauntlet. If this was the Eternal Labyrinth, I would usually do one of those, especially when it's right in my way. But on this, I cannot be bothered. And here we go, the Aspirant's Trial. Let's go ascend or get my ass kicked.
Can afford to be promising. An emperor
must respect the traps.
must navigate your empire.
This is darts, right? Yeah, it's darts. So very little room to maneuver, but also not very lethal. Okay, there he goes. Cloth belt, that's... oh no, it's not Paramus Blazon, it's Sunblast. Okay, I only had one treasure key. Let's just stick these on my silly boots. Reduce amount of cost of skills conditionally, that's something quite useful. But what we're here for is this. Boom, boom. 30% increased chaos damage. Chaos skills have added area. And when you kill a poisoned enemy during a flask effect, nearby enemies are poisoned. That is going to mean more poison that we're going to be inflicting on enemies. I'm always happy to inflict poison because, well, poison deals damage and improves my Herald of Agony. So let's go and take out the rest of Act 9. This is the hard end of Act 9. This is where the monsters start to really slap you around a bit. The zones are very straightforward, but they're also much more dangerous. So don't underestimate this when you get here. You see there that I'm taking quite considerable damage, and I'm wanting to keep my flasks up more than I normally would normally bother with. Which of course I can't keep them eternally active either. This is with 75% lightning resist here as well. It's just that there is a lot of incoming damage. Part of that is that the monster level is now up to 68, oh sorry, 64-3, which is quite a jump up from what we were in before. Alright, that's all I can successfully burst open. Sweet, fucking Jesus, that hit hard. I didn't see the wind-up because the wind-up occurred off-screen. Or if it was on-screen, which it may have been on-screen, but if it was occurring when my attention was on something else. One of the things with the Legion content that makes it really dangerous. Whenever an enemy dies with poisons on it, that poison proliferates now, which is a big upgrade over what I had before. The hell out of that explosion when it goes off. So otherwise it will Shrek me. Rain of arrows. Okay, now it's looking around here. It's one of these ways. Oh, draw more. This guy is completely unnecessary to kill, so I'm actually going to run away. There's just no reason to kill him. Come a completely wrong way. One of the things I need to be conscious of is that I move faster while I've got a flask up. And so for that reason, I actually don't want to be at full mana a lot of the time. Because my mana flask, while I'm actively regenerating mana, I'm both moving and attacking faster. It's not always practical to balance that, but when I can, I will. And that's a binary thing, so it's as long as there's at least one flask active. It's not as long as it's not for each flask. Alright, there we are, out of here. Rotting Core. Now we got the 4 bosses of Act 9. I think there's a little bit of a travel zone first. I'd say, how could I forget this zone, but gee, it's forgettable. Not going to bother with them. They're, nothing was visible that had a reward node that I care about. Oh! Essence, I don't think I can get it down in time, but I'll try. Nah.
My mana is gone.
Oh well. There's the exit, Black Core. Hi, Sin. Now we go and fight the Depraved Trinity twice each. Doedre first. This is Screamer Doedre. This one can be a rough fight. Actually, all of these bosses can be rough. Very easy to underestimate too. Did have something funny happen before. I was about to start recording this video and I got sidetracked. Wound up checking other stuff online, and while I was sidetracked had a power blackout. Would have been complete waste of time if I'd actually gone ahead with trying to record it. I would have blacked out during the Cruel Labyrinth. And those are hard-hitting monsters. They don't look it either. They're just really deceptive and dangerous. Okay, Dodre's Arena, we'll go in there as soon as we've dealt with these trash. The reason I'm dealing with these trash is for flask chuckers and for Alright, now she's going to go Shrieker mode. At this point I need to hide behind one of these. If this dies, I'm in a bit of trouble. Fortunately my Agony Crawler didn't actually quite kill it. Now she's changed into a slightly more attractive form. Alright. So she's down. Alright, nice. That was actually smoother than that. That's usually the hardest of them, so that fight was smooth. Now we've got Malagaro's side, where Malagaro has a lot of chaos damage, which is a bit rough. He's tuned a bit lower, but he's still dangerous because chaos damage is just so brutal. Especially because I am at minus 70% chaos resist, I think, or maybe minus 60. Why can't I... Ooh, I couldn't dash out of that. That was nasty. Do not want to ignore powerful attacks behind me. Okay. I'll pick up that ult. Okay, now we're almost there. You guys can all go away, and ouch, 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 what the fuck was that? Was I really badly poisoned there, or was there something I just wasn't seeing?
My mana is gone.
Oh, nice. Level up always helps. And the Stone Golem level up. That's how hard Malagaro hits. In we go. He's got his really savage Spectral Throw. He's got his shit on the ground. Spectral Throw is a lot worse because of the League mods. Need to be very careful not to stand against a wall either. Alright, now there's all of the reflections are up. That's actually a good thing for me. I can cast my... I can hit lots of things, inflict lots of poisons, kill monsters and have poisons proliferate. And then the real one has the most hit points, so he stays up longer. Here goes Splat, and then it is off to Chevron. Chevron with her lightning damage. Lightning damage I am capped against, so it's not too bad. Although she's mechanically challenging with the multiple projectiles mod in effect. It certainly gives you a lot less room to dodge. She also doesn't have ads, so my damage output is a lot lower. Okay, almost there. Pushing forward, keep pushing forward. Okay. And Chevron. Get the hell out of the way of that. She picks her direction before she initiates the cast, and ouch. Now she's gone up into the air. Oh, she does have ads there, good. Fire off a vile rain of arrows into that. That hits really hard. And she goes splat. Okay, at this point, it's time to talk to Sin and then take on the Depraved Trinity, and then we're done with Act 9 and the Cruel Labyrinth. Act 9 is definitely one of the faster ones. This guy's mechanics are interesting. It's something that you have to learn when you're running the carcass map. He certainly scales a lot with multiple projectiles. Very much here's just a case of be tanky enough to survive and you'll do well. And get out of shit on the ground. Speaking of getting out of shit on the ground, those things must be dodged at all costs. Especially with multiple projectiles, they are absolutely devastating hits. They don't last forever, and you can portal out if you must. If you're getting absolutely swarmed by them. That's usually a sign that you should have more damage than you do. But of course you can still beat this boss with a low amount of damage. It's only a soft DPS check, it's not a hard one. And he goes splat, and we get to Toucan and say hello to these guys. Which one of them is it that sends me to Oriath? It's Lily. Okay, that is the end of the Cruel Labyrinth and Act 9 video. Have a good one.